It's like a little fetish. It's like a little twink gay fetish about these K-pop boys.
Welcome back, everyone. So today I'm going to be talking about the K-pop hate bandwagon. This is part one of a two-part series. It's not a series. I'm not that special. But next part I'm going to be talking about the misrepresentation K-pop gets in the media. I'm going to be talking about the reasons why people hate K-pop and K-pop fans and basically defend ourselves, I guess, if you really want to classify as that. But I do want to put a disclaimer in the beginning of this video that I will be talking about topics like pedophilia, racism, suicide, homophobia, and I do talk about some idols' deaths, so this is just a warning. If you don't think you could handle this type of video, then don't watch. Anyways, let's start. First, I want to talk about a YouTuber named H3H3. If you aren't on Stan Twitter or follow Ethan Klein, which is his real name, you might have not seen his offensive opinion on K-pop. K-pop fans actually started a whole over-party hashtag about him, but I won't get into that. Here's the video.
BTS. I don't get the BTS thing. I'm just gonna say it right now. I don't like K-pop. I hate K-pop. I don't get BTS.
K-pop?
They look like they're just a bunch of. How did this become a thing in Western culture where all these grown men and little girls are jerking off to little K-pop boys? It's like a little fetish. It's like a little twink gay fetish about these K-pop boys.
First things first, I'm just gonna say what everybody else is thinking. Ethan is a whole ass adult talking about children engaging in sexual activity, which is just so fucking disgusting. Also, I don't know which LGBT person gave him the pass to say a homophobic slur because I sure as hell know it wasn't me. Anyway, I do want to talk about the response people had on Twitter because most people were upset and rightfully so, but there were people who were quick to defend Ethan saying it's just his opinion and that K-pop stans are mad because he doesn't like K-pop. Here's the thing I think a lot of people misinterpret. K-pop stans do not care if you don't like K-pop. If it's not your thing, like if it's just not your jam, that's fine. We all have preferences and that's okay. K-pop stans don't care if you respectfully state your opinions about why you don't like it. But when you're disrespectful and hateful with your opinion, that's where it's different. This excuse that Ethan was joking or that it's just his opinion is so weird to me. Of course that's just my opinion, but just because it's his quote-unquote opinion doesn't make it less offensive. Let's say someone makes a racist remark. Technically, it is their opinion, but it doesn't change the fact that it's disrespectful and hateful. Saying it's a joke or an opinion doesn't change anything, nor is it an excuse. If Ethan said, I don't like K-pop and left it at that, this hashtag wouldn't have been trending. K-pop stans generally do not care if you don't like the same thing they do. Of course, there's people who get mad if you don't like the same thing they do, but it's not just a K-pop thing. In every fandom, there's always that 1% of people who will get mad if you don't agree on the same thing. Ethan using insults and slurs is a clear sign he doesn't know what he's talking about. If he had a genuine argument, it would have been received differently, but he didn't. It's the same thing when two people arguing and one of them just insults the other's appearance. It's a clear sign they have no idea what they're talking about, so they resort to using insults. That's why it's clear he's a troll. Same thing with these Twitter accounts saying racist and disrespectful things. They don't have a valid argument. If they did, K-pop fans wouldn't have gotten mad. K-pop fans like any fandom. If you respectfully dislike the thing they like, then it's whatever. But when you insult it and use homophobic slur, or any slur for that matter, people in general, and especially that fandom, are going to care. But Ethan, at the end of the day, likes the attention because any attention is good attention for him, but I guess that's the difference between you and I. I think this is the main reason why people hate K-pop stans so much. If you aren't aware, these are the types of tweets I'm talking about. Our whole fandom gets labeled toxic, and everyone assumes every K-pop fan is like these people. But in reality, these nasty people make up barely 1% of our fandom. The other 99% of us thinks it's absolutely disgusting. K-pop fans agree it's gross, and we don't claim those people who tweet like this. We think it's just as disturbing as everybody else does. We're not this strange species, love. We have morals. But the fact that some of y'all do the same things to K-pop stans is wild, that you criticize us but then go and do the same shit. And of course it's not everyone, obviously, but they generalized us, so I'm gonna do the same thing. Big fucking disclaimer for this part because these tweets are really disturbing, like really disturbing, so I just want to put that out there. Also, credit to Michelle on Twitter because they gave me these screenshots. Obviously, these tweets are fucking disgusting. Y'all make fun of idols dying, but for some reason it's only K-pop stans? Like, at least make it make sense. There's toxic people in every fandom, and K-pop stans aren't all toxic. And I'm not excusing this behavior saying, well, if you guys do it too, because it's gross no matter who does it, and there's no excuse. I'm not here to defend anybody, because that's fucking disgusting. But don't assume we're all these hateful people when we literally aren't. Don't stereotype us just because we like a certain type of music. At the end of the day, it's music, and you're acting like we're in some cult or some shit. Like, y'all just acting Delulu. This brings me to my next topic. So I'm going to be reading these two tweets, and this is basically what I'm going to be talking about. My favorite part of this industry is when they bully two stars to commit suicide. Best fandom ever. That face when K-pop stans are trying to take the moral high ground over a joke, but are responsible for dozens of suicides of K-pop idols because of their online abuse. First off, if you want to blame anybody, do not blame K-pop fans. Maybe blame the people who actually hurt them, or K-netizens who actually caused a lot of harm to K-pop idols. But blaming the fandom is just so fucking unnecessary. And me saying this isn't implying that K-pop fans are completely innocent, because I definitely think some are responsible for hurting some of these K-pop idols, because the hate they get is very extreme, like very extreme, and I'm not trying to defend them at all. But you putting all the responsibility of their deaths on K-pop fans is fucking disgusting. You blaming all K-pop fans for doing these types of things is just so disgusting. Like, if you really cared, if you really fucking give a fucking shit about the idols you were talking about, you wouldn't be blaming fans. You would be blaming the people who hurt them. It just makes me so uncomfortable seeing these people talk about K-pop idols who have passed away when they don't even know anything about them. They never stand them. They never listen to their music. They literally do not know who they are, and they just assume their life and what happened to them. I'm not going to be talking more about this because honestly it just makes me really upset, so let's just move on. Now let's talk about the dark side of K-pop. One of the most excuses is that they don't like K-pop because of the quote-unquote bad side of K-pop. Even news articles mention it a lot, which I'll get into. First, if this is your reason for not liking K-pop, that's kind of hypocritical. They seem to point out the bad things K-pop idols have done, such as Sungri and more, but ignore the fact that R. Kelly and Bill Cosby exist. People in Hollywood are exposed for pedophilia, rape, sexual abuse, etc. all the time. But for some reason, these people in news outlets comment on these idols doing awful things. And this isn't me defending anyone or saying it's okay, because of course it isn't, and those people who do such awful things are scum. But I'm not going to sit here and act Delulu and pretend it's just a K-pop thing. There's bad people everywhere, and Hollywood is an extremely bad place. You can't put such a label on K-pop idols and K-pop in general, but ignore the fact that it happens in Hollywood. Same with contracts. Contracts is something everybody in that type of industry has to sign. I'm going to use Fifth Harmony as an example for this part. In this leaked video, one of the members says this.
Decisions on a regular basis to fuck us over, to make us literal slaves. Like literally slaves, Allie. We're doing fucking labor every day and we see nothing.
In another interview, a member says, I love touring, but the schedule traumatized me. I was like, what kind of job are we doing? I watched my great-grandmother be buried on FaceTime. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Fifth Harmony because they don't deserve to be treated like this, and no one anywhere should. I'm bringing this up for the sake of showing that it happens everywhere. Next, I want to talk about this article by The Hollywood Reporter, where they interviewed BTS. They talked about BTS, their achievements, etc. In this report, the author talks about Junghyun and blames his death on the dark side of K-pop. It's just extremely disrespectful that they would use him and what happened to him to push their narrative while ignoring all the things that happen around them. It's just clear these types of people don't do their research, and they don't care enough to do their research. I'm not going to be talking too much about this because I don't really have much to say. Honestly, I don't need to say much. I get why people might be annoyed by fan cams on Twitter, but when you really think about it, it's just videos of people dancing. Of course, that's just my opinion, but I don't really think it's a big deal. But I do agree fan cams shouldn't be posted under serious tweets because I do see that a lot, and I think that shit is just messed up. But if it's under harmless tweets, I don't really see the big deal. But again, that's just my opinion, and you don't have to agree with me.
I pulled an all-nighter to finish this video, so my voice is a little too tired to record this outro. But anyway, I know I didn't talk about racism and xenophobia, but I focus on it a lot in part 2. Thanks for watching. This video is probably messy, I'm sorry. I hope y'all were okay with my voice. I have a speech impediment, so it took me a lot of tries. I'll be making a part 2 soon, and if I missed anything in this video, which I probably did, comment it and I'll add it to part 2. Thank you guys for watching, I love you.